Welcome to your worst nightmare. Yours because you made it.
Hey there, this is another Good Shepherd Entertainment tutorial about the Zombie Night Terror level editor. This video we're going to go over the cutscenes and some camera options. This is the first cutscene of the game. I just decided to import it from the official levels. If you really want to learn how the levels were put together, this is the best way since you'll be able to see exactly how the devs made the game. First, let's go over each of these triggers. The green one here in the middle is the start trigger, and it's the most important one. This is how most of the other triggers are going to be activated. If you don't have it, you will be able to control the camera when the level starts, but parts of your scene won't work if they needed a trigger to be activated. Next up, you'll see there are timers around. These are called execution timers, and they're the next most important one. Because you're essentially directing a scene in an animated short, it's all based on timing. There's a camera zoom. That's one of the elements you can use to change the camera view. And lastly is the cutscene mode trigger, which is what you'll need if you want people to move past your cutscene when you want it to end, so they don't get stuck in cutscene world. Now we're going to look at these in the events editor. Immediately you can see that everything is wired together. Your start trigger is activated when the level starts automatically. When you click on its arrow icon, you'll see the only option is the on-game start connector. And this is connected to all the triggers, either directly or through another trigger. There are a couple that aren't, but for the most part, your triggers are going to be connected to this one. Looking at the camera now, we'll delete this connector just so we can reattach it. Bloop. Now you can see that the start trigger is connected to the only option, which is zoom camera. And yes, it is a camera zoom. Going back to the selection tool, if you click on the camera, you'll see that it's set to 9.2. If you go to a low number like 1, you'll zoom in all the way into the pixels, which you probably don't want. So anywhere from about 7 to 15 is going to usually feel the most comfortable for your players. The ease on the camera describes the curve of the camera's animation. That's why if you use linear, it looks kind of boring. It'll just be a very flat, straight line on a graph, essentially. And duration, of course, is the time of the zoom. I'm going to add the other cameras here for just a moment to show you what they do. The camera mover is exactly what you would think it is. If you want to have the camera move to a different spot, just place the trigger wherever you want the camera to end up. This will let you slide the camera around the scene. Camera shake is going to make the whole scene shake for a moment. Think of it like an earthquaker. This is a really good one to use for explosions. And camera control can't be used in a cutscene, so don't put it in there. Just warning you. The next one we're going to look at is the execution timer. You can see that these two characters are hooked up into the start trigger, but this third girl has an execution timer between her and the start trigger. It's for 2 seconds. This is going to delay her animation sequence, so she'll start moving after her friends. If you select her, you'll be able to see these animations. Now we can just play it for a second. It's the first cutscene of the game, so hopefully you've seen this before. And that's about it. There are a couple people not hooked up to the start trigger, but one was just standing around and the other one was on patrol, so those didn't need to be hooked up to the trigger. Thanks again for watching. I hope this helped you out with your questions about cameras, and the next video will go over the challenge options. Thank you so much, and please be sure to submit to our contest as it's been extended to December 1st. I want to play your levels, guys. I really want to play your levels, so please send them in. Good luck. Thanks.